Welcome back to another episode of It's All Clutter, my weekly podcast where I talk about all things clutter. I'm Jess Marcy. I'm a professional organizer, and I believe that all of the clutter in our lives is connected, and I come to you weekly with tips and tricks and deeper thoughts about how to tackle all of the different types of clutter in your life. So it's almost Labor Day weekend. What a great time to talk about labor, specifically your kids and helping out around the house. This is a hot topic that we have been talking about a lot in Clutter Boss Academy. And I really felt strongly that I should come on here and do a podcast about how important it is to have your kids help around the house, but also how do you make that happen? It's not that easy. So I have some tips to share with you and really some supporting arguments for having your kids have consistent chores and help you get stuff done as we move into the school year and all of the crazy unknowns that are coming along with this year's school system. School, all of it. This is an unusual year, but actually I will say it has never been a better year to have your kids help out around the house. So we're going to talk about why kids should be helping with chores. How do you get kids to actually help with chores? And what can kids do to help out around the house? Without further ado, let's jump right in. The number one reason why kids should help out around the house is because we need to empower our children with actual skills to enable them to be as successful as possible moving forward. I don't know anybody who doesn't need to know how to do their laundry, and I don't know anybody who doesn't need to know how to cook basic food. When we empower our children with life skills, helping out around the house, learning how to take care of yourself, these are life skills. When we empower our children with life skills, we set them up for a springboard of success later on in life. So imagine going to college and all of the overwhelmingness that comes with being away from home and taking care of yourself. Imagine if you go to college and you don't know how to do basic stuff like your laundry, like cooking for yourself, like cleaning up at the end of the day. You have to learn all of that on top of navigating through this crazy, complex new life that you're suddenly thrown into. When we teach our kids the basic stuff, how to take care of themselves and their space, we empower them with skills that will really set them up for success at all points in their life moving forward. So the biggest, most important reason to have your kids help out around the house is because we're empowering them. The more that they can take care of and handle and deal with, the better set up they are for success as they move on in life. Knowing how to do this stuff is it's a gift that you're giving them. So when you're arguing with your kids, when they're fighting back about doing chores, just remember, you are empowering them. And that is your job as a parent, to empower your children with the skill set that they actually need in life moving forward. So even though it feels frustrating, it's exhausting, remember you're giving them a gift. At the end of the day, having them help out around the house is a huge gift that you're giving to them. Another reason that we really need kids to be doing chores in our house is because we can't do it all ourselves. We just can't. Studies show that women, moms, are working out of the house more and they're working in the house more. And it's time that everybody helps out. So if you're living in this house, you got to help out. That's just how it goes. That's how families have been set up for all of humanity. And nothing should change now. In fact, if anything, we need to empower our children to be more helpful and to have better skills and a more elaborate skill set to help out around the house, because we need more help, right? We're doing a lot more than we've ever done before. A while ago, I read an article, a study about when you have expectations that your children are going to help out around the house, it makes them feel like an important part of your family, an important part of your community. It makes them feel like they're very valuable. And when they feel valuable, like they're necessary, they're needed, they have a purpose, when they feel like they have a purpose in your house, then this has a direct link to feeling like they have a purpose when they're navigating social situations, when they're questioning all sorts of things as they grow up. Feeling like they are important at a very young age is critical to their mental stability as they progress, right? As they get older, as they deal with much more complicated social situations where they might question their purpose, they might question how valuable they are, they might question why they exist, why they're here, right? We all go through these very natural things that are difficult to deal with, but feeling like they're a valuable member of their family is critical to their mental stability moving forward. So 3 really important reasons why we should have our kids doing chores. We're empowering them, we need the help, and we're making them understand that they truly are a valuable member of our family. It's very important for kids to have chores around the house because we're really gifting them with a sense of confidence and empowerment as they move forward. So how do you actually do that? How do you get your kids to help out? And there's no magic to this. It really comes down to having an expectation and making sure that it gets done. Yes, there might be arguments in the beginning when you impose more expectations and more chores on your children, right? They're not used to helping out, possibly. They're not used to this level of expectation. They might push back. That's natural, but doing chores is non-negotiable. So let's make that just how it is. So the way that we work it in our house is you don't get access to your phones or your technology until your chores are done. It's just, I have the phones, I have the iPads, the computers, whatever. When you get your chores done, you can have your phone. In the morning during school, my kids don't have time to do chores in the morning and they are allowed to take their phones to school. So their phones get handed in when they get home and then their chores get done and they get their phones after that. We keep our chores written down. Once the list is done, you can have your phone. There's no discussion, right? That's just the expectation. That's how it goes. And you really want to get to a point in your household where that just is how it is. So that takes away the arguing, right? That takes away the negotiating. Do this, get that, this, then that, right? That's how it works with chores. So just make it non-negotiable. It has to get done. Make it fun. So make the chores fun. Put on music. Don't make it like hours and hours of chores. Break it up. Keep it manageable. Make it fun. Your attitude and the way that you approach household work is going to really filter down to your children. So when you have a good attitude, when you approach this like it's a positive thing, we all need to do it. We might as well make it a good experience. It definitely impacts how your children react as well. So lead by example. I mean, no one likes to do chores, right? That's a chore, but that by nature is not a fun thing. But we have to look at it a different way and teach our kids that we have to do it. So let's just make it a good, positive experience to whatever extent we possibly can. So keep it short, put on music, make it enjoyable, and then of course at the end there's a reward. You get access to your technology or whatever works best for your family. Be consistent and make it a routine. So without fail, this is how it goes every day, right? So be consistent. Once you break that consistency, you have to build it all up again. So be consistent with whatever your whole thing, however you do it, be consistent with it. Things that are routine are much easier to commit to and get done on a regular basis. So just keep it something, have a routine. Come home from school, get this done. After dinner, get this done. When you wake up, get this done. Make it a routine, and then there's no thought, right? It's just how it happens. Focus on the things in your house that are your biggest, let's call them pain points. So if you wake up every morning and there is stuff everywhere, that's a pain point. So maybe the chore that you focus on establishing first is picking up every night. People often ask with clutter, like, where do I get started? How do I tackle Drop zones, I always say don't let drop zones become stay zones. So if you have drop zones, spend 20 minutes as a family every night tackling those drop zones so they're taken care of. And if that's the one chore that you have your kids do, but it really like you want to have your children help with whatever is going to maximize your ability to function the next day. So figure out what is the thing that's holding you back the most. Is it that you can never find your keys? Your laundry is never clean. The laundry is never put away. Whatever that is, start there. So figure out how to get your entire family involved with the thing that every single day is driving you the most crazy. Remember that done is better than perfect. So a lot of times when I work with families, I see that we tend to micromanage how things are done as parents, right? We want it done exactly this specific way. When it comes to kids and chores, embrace the mindset, done is better than perfect. It's not, learning how to do a chore is a skill. You have to get better at it. They're not going to do it perfectly the first time. And that's okay, because your goal really is to get your kids involved and accomplishing something. Yes, if they do a really poor job, have them come back and do it over. But commit to done is better than perfect. And I have a good example of this, which kind of goes into the what should your kids be helping out with. They can help out with everything. I mean, there's not one task that they really can't help out with unless it's dangerous. But let's take laundry for an example. So my kids have been helping out with laundry since they could walk, right? And the first step to helping out with laundry is picking up your clothing and putting it into the hamper, right? So that's step one. Done is better than perfect. Just make sure it gets into the hamper. Then it's really figuring out how to get yourself dressed. Where do your shirts live? Where do your pants live? Where do your socks live, right? It doesn't really matter what they're wearing. Well, it didn't to me anyway, right? Because done is better than perfect. If they can dress themselves, that is awesome. That is, really done is better than perfect. Then it's bringing your stuff down to the laundry when your laundry basket is full, or whenever it's your day for laundry, however you work it in your house. Putting your stuff in, it's slowly baby steps. So as soon as they're able to do the next thing, have them do the next thing. When my kids were younger, they really couldn't fold clothing very well. I mean, they could fold a couple of things, but they couldn't fold most of their clothing. So done is better than perfect. I had them put their clothing away and it didn't have to be folded, but it got away, right? So it got put away. And the skill that I was really trying to get them into the habit of doing was putting their clothing away when it was clean. That's like the part that never gets done with laundry, right? It's the biggest challenge with laundry is putting it away most of the time. So all that it mattered to me was that their clothing was put away. It didn't matter if it was perfectly folded or even if it was folded at all. Now, they're a little bit older. They fold their clothing now. They still sometimes don't do a great job, but you know what? It's okay. They're doing all of their laundry all by themselves. And I don't have to do anything except for occasionally remind them, you got to get your laundry done. Done is better than perfect. If it's not perfectly folded, let it go, right? Just be so proud of them for getting it done. Kids really can and should be helping out with whatever task you are having a hard time with. They can vacuum, they can dust, they can do the dishes, they can do their laundry, they can declutter. So it's really also important that you have your kids help declutter their space. Help them understand how much space they actually have for their stuff and how to prioritize what is most important to them to keep in that space. So decluttering should be considered a routine household task. I've got lots of other information about this and podcasts on this, but decluttering should not be this one thing that you do once a year that you hate doing. If you have stuff coming into your house, you need to have stuff going out of your house. If your kids have stuff coming into their bedrooms, they have to have stuff going out of their bedrooms. Get them used to doing this as part of a routine household task, just right now, and they will have no problem as adults letting go of things when they are done with that item. So build in decluttering into your household chores. Whatever you do, get your kids involved. Now is the time. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to teach them. And it's never too late to start building that family culture around everyone helping and these expectations, and see how much easier your life gets when everyone is on board and helping out with chores. And remember, this is a gift that you are giving to your kids. Don't ever doubt that. Don't ever doubt that. You are empowering your children with skills that will last a lifetime, and that is a huge gift to them. Stay strong. If you want to learn how to declutter, Clutter Bootcamp is the place to start. Clutter-bootcamp.com to sign up. Join us. We go through all of the skills, the basics. How do you declutter? How do you organize your house? Learn it all at clutterbootcamp.com. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can catch all of the podcasts as they come out once a week, every Monday right now at 10:30. That might change in the future, but I'm Jess Marcy. If you want more information, prioritizeyoursanity.com, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.